Hello everyone. In this lecture, we will see feature selection. So before this, we have seen that what is meant by instance-based learning, what are instances and what are features. So features are the thing where when multiple features comes uh, in collection, then it will create one instance and number of instances will create one data set. So we will see while creating instances how the features are getting selected. So features contains information about the target. More number of feature means more information and better classification power. But before this, what we have seen that when we are having number of features or when we are having number of instances, then we can say that we will get the more accurate result. Uh, because when we test number of instances over the algorithm, so it will create history, and after creating the history it will generate the answers from it, so that the more number of features means more powerful algorithm is there or more accurate result is there. But it does not really work good, because more number of features sometimes creating problem. So if more number of features are present, initially they may provide good result, but afterwards, afterwards the performance may degrade. The reason is some features are irrelevant. The irrelevant features may create noise and they fool learning algorithm. They make wrong results. Means it is not every time possible that all the features present with us are useful for the algorithm. There are some features which are irrelevant. There are some features which are redundant. Irrelevant in the sense that are not useful for that algorithm, and redundant in the sense maybe they are repeatedly come again and again. That type of features are known as redundant features. So these type of features are problematic for any machine learning algorithm. You may have redundant features, means repeated features, if some features contain same example, and if they don't contain any additional information, they may degrade the performance of classifier. So if you have limited training examples and limited computational resources, then these features may create problem. When you have too many features, too many dimensions, it may degrade performance. And this phenomenon is called as curse of dimensionality. So what is basically curse of dimensionality is when we are going to create instances for any data set, we have to select the features for the instances. While selecting features, we have to check how many number of features we are having or how many dimensions of that features we are having. If more number of dimensions are there or number of features is also too much, then these type of things will create problem for the learning algorithm, and this will not result in accuracy, or we cannot achieve more accuracy by using these things. So what we have to do is, when we are having too much training examples and limited computational resources, then these features creates a problem. And all these things are known as, or all these things comes under curse of dimensionality. Curse of dimensionality is represented by the following graph. See, we are having a graph in which we are having classifiers performance. Classifiers performance in the sense the algorithm which we are using. Here we are taking the example of classification. Like suppose we are considering we are having one algorithm which classifies the data. So we are having the algorithm known as classifier, which will classify the given data sets into two or more number of classes as per the requirement of our problem. So classifiers performance is one thing, and second thing is number of variables. So first thing is when we are having less number of variables, then the performance is high, and when we are increasing number of variables, then the performance is going to decrease slowly. What it means, when we are having less number of variables, by using that less number of variables but correct number of variables, here we will consider variables as a features. Okay, so when we have having less number of features with us, and that features are not irrelevant, that features are not redundant, so by using that type of features we can get accuracy, more accuracy or high accuracy of classifier. And when we are going to increase number of variables, that means very number of features, then the performance of classifier is going to decrease slowly. So this concept is known as curse of dimensionality. So what we can do with this is, to overcome curse of dimensionality, we are having feature reduction. So how to reduce the features? So to reduce the feature, we are having two types. First one is feature selection and second one is feature extraction. First thing is, when we are having number of features with us, then what we have to do is we have to select some features from that number of features. And second thing is we have to extract some features, or we have to remove such features which are irrelevant and which are redundant. So these are the two techniques by using which we can do feature reduction. And by doing feature reduction, we can overcome the problem of curse of dimensionality. We will see one by one in detail. So first thing is feature selection. See, suppose initially we have given features. Suppose f is the feature in which we are having the dimensions of the feature like x1, x2 up to xn. And what we have to find out is f dash, which belongs from the f, and x1 dash, x2 dash up to xn dash. For this we have to optimize certain criteria. Means they have given some features like x1, x2, x3, x2 up to xn, and what we have to do is from x1 we have to extract x1 dash. Means if we are considering only feature x1, then suppose feature x1 contains 4 to 5 statements. What we have to do is we have to remove 2 statements and we have to create x1 dash. Means it will contains only 3 statements. So this will be x1 dash. That is also feature, but what we have did here, we have selected important 3 dimensions from that feature and we have created x1 dash. So for this, then how we have removed that 2 dimensions which are irrelevant or which are not useful for that algorithm. So for that we have to optimize certain criteria. But the initial thing is, from the given set of features, we have to select such features, or we have to create such instances which are not irrelevant and which are not redundant. So you want to either improve or maintain classifiers accuracy or simplify classifiers complexity. So how we have to do it? So how to select such features who accomplish above 2 criteria. So how to do this? See, if we are we are having n number of features, so we are having possible subset subset of instances are 2 raised to n. So it is somewhat difficult task to reach at every subset. We need to use some methods. Which methods are that? Optimum, heuristic and randomized. These 3 are the methods. The algorithm has some mechanism to evaluate the subset. Now to evaluate the subset, we are having again 2 evaluation methods, that are unsupervised method and supervised method. Unsupervised method is known as filter and supervised method is known as wrapper. Now, whole the thing what I said before this is theory. Now we will take one example and we will analyze how this example will work for the theory. Suppose we are having disease brain tumor detection. We are doing a project like brain tumor detection using machine learning algorithm. Now what the first thing we have to do is we have to collect all possible symptoms of brain tumor disease. Like there may be headache, there may be vomiting of blood, there may be uh, there may be another some symptoms of blood cancer or brain tumor, sorry. Then all, suppose we are having 10 symptoms with us, and when we can say that one person is having the brain tumor, what we will do is we will collect three symptoms and we will create one instance of it. Like suppose first three symptoms we are collecting under instance 1, second three symptoms we are collecting with instance 2, and last four symptoms we are collecting with instance 3. So what we have to do is, when we now all these instances we are providing to the algorithm, and what algorithm will do, when a person will come to that algorithm and he will put symptoms in front of algorithm will check whether any instance among these three instances is present with the patient. And if it is present with the patient, algorithm will result that yes, patient is having brain tumor. If from three instances or three symptoms, patient is having two symptoms, then also it will give the answer like yes, patient is having the brain tumor. So this is known as, what we have collected the instances, we have created the instances by using the symptoms of that disease. And uh, by using this, what we have did, we have selected the features, we have created instances, and by using that instances, now how we have selected the instances, for that we are having three methods, that are optimum, heuristic, and randomized. Like before some time I said that we have to optimize certain criteria. So what are that criterias? So that criterias are optimum, heuristic, and randomized. And to evaluate these criteria, we are having two methods, that are unsupervised method and supervised method. So we are having feature selection steps. When we consider optimization problem, now see, search the space of possible feature subset, pick the subset that is optimal or nearest optimal with respect to some objective function. What we have to do while selecting the feature is, we have to collect all the symptoms which will consist of which will come under brain tumor, and that is known as training data. And then what we have to do is, we have to optimize certain criteria. The criteria may be, we have to decide whether the patient is having brain tumor or not, and for that we have to create the instances, and we have to create such a feature set which will recognize whether the patient is giving whatever the patient is giving the symptoms, we have to find out whether the patient is having brain tumor or not. So this is known as optimized method of feature selection. So for that we have to use training data, that is complete feature set whatever we are having, and we have to create the final feature set for that. And by using this, we can select the features among large number of features. Now we are having two evaluation strategies. Before I said, like supervised, that is known as wrapper method, and unsupervised, that is known as filter method. Supervised method works on the, it will train the selected subset, and it will calculate or it will estimate the error on validation dataset. And in unsupervised, that is filter method will look at input only, and it will create a subset that has most information. We are having the diagram of both, like see, filter method and wrapper method. So in filter method, only the in filter and wrapper method, only the difference is, while selecting function or while selecting algorithm, you have to think over it. Like when you have to go for, when we have to go for the filter, then you have to select complete data set, and then you have to optimize or you have to use some criteria, and by using that criteria you have to choose or you have to select the final feature subset. By using that, or by using the final feature subset, your algorithm will work on it, and algorithm will find out the answer for the same. Same in wrapper. you have all the data, means you have to consider most of the data among the complete feature set, and your algorithm will predict the answers, and the accuracy is more in the wrapper method. So this is the basic difference between filter method and wrapper method. Now second type is heuristic type of algorithm. Okay, so heuristic contains forward selection and backward selection. So what is there in forward selection? Start with the empty feature set, then try each remaining feature, estimate classification or regression error for adding each specific feature, then select the feature which will give maximum improvement, and stop when there is no significant improvement. Okay, now see how forward selection heuristic algorithm will work in case of brain tumor. Suppose you are having 10 symptoms, and what we have to do is, uh, now you have to consider empty feature set first, then you have to consider first symptoms as an instance. Then you check whether the only first symptom will work correct. Like if the person is having only headache, then we can't say that the person is having brain tumor. Okay, so separately it will not work better. Now you have to consider the second instance. Suppose the person is having vomiting of blood, then we can say that if person is having brain tumor. Okay, so togetherly they both are working correct, they both are giving the more accuracy. So we can say that this is the first instance for the brain tumor detection. Now again you have to consider third instance, third symptom. Now check whether first, second and third are correct, or togetherly they are making a correct result. If they are making correct results, then put third symptom in feature set. Otherwise remove third instance, third symptom. Now go for fourth symptom. Now check first, second, third, fourth are working correctly. If yes, then keep in feature set. Otherwise, only keep first, second, and fourth, as we have removed three already. Likewise, what you have to do is you have to check for every possible symptoms you are having, but with all other instances present with you, all other symptoms present with you, because only one or two symptoms cannot predict that the person is having brain tumor. What you have to do is we have to create a collection of symptoms, we have to create a collection of instances for that, then and then only your algorithm will predict more result or accurate result. So this is known as forward selection. And second one is backward selection. Then what you have to do is in backward selection, consider all the 10 symptoms in one feature set, like start with full feature set. Suppose you are having 10 features or 10 symptoms, take it as it is, as a 10 symptoms as a feature set. Then check first, second, third, fourth, all single instances you have to check, single symptoms you have to check whether they are single working correctly or not, and which symptom is having smallest improvement, like which symptoms is having uh, no value in that set. Then what you have to do is you have to drop that feature or you have to drop that symptom. Like we are saying, uh, suppose the person is having pain in his pain in his stomach, so this will not work for the brain tumor, but someone has given it as a symptom, but it will not the symptom of brain tumor. So what is this? This is irrelevant feature for that disease. So what you have to do is you have to remove that feature from that feature set. So this set is known as backward selection. So these forward and backward selection methods can be univariate or multivariate. Like univariate are having again 5 types: Pearson correlation coefficient, F score, chi square, signal to noise ratio, and mutual information, etc. So these are some methods we can say by using that forward and backward selections are going to be happen. Uh, they are having their own formulas with them while creating the algorithm or while selecting the features to create any data set. One has to consider all these methods with them. Then these are having the their own formulas to calculate the values for everything. So rank features by importance, and ranking cutoff is determined by the user. Now see, Pearson coefficient correlation coefficient is having the formula like this. And if the correlation is between +1 and -1, +1 means the perfect positive correlation and -1 is the other direction, that is negative correlation, means less correlation with the other feature. Now see what this defines is this R, value of R in Pearson correlation coefficient. That value varies from +1 to -1. If the value is +1, then that particular feature or that particular instance is useful for that data set. If less correlation between the instances, then that instance is not much powerful to create the data set, or that instance is not useful to create the data set. Next is signal to noise ratio. So difference in means divided by differences in standard deviation between two classes. Large value indicates strong correlation. So this is the formula to calculate the signal to noise ratio. Now we will check one example of selection of features, so that the all theory we have seen before this, that will be cleared. Suppose we are having 5 attributes A, B, C, D and E, or we can say instances to it, and T is the target which we want to achieve. So first we will consider A and compare it with T. If there is relevance, keep it, otherwise discard it. Suppose A is roll number, means column of A defines roll number of students and T defines marks of the students. Then roll number does not affect marks. Roll number is related to marks, but it does not affect marks. So in this case, we will remove A. Now suppose column A contains roll number of students, B contains marks of math, C contains marks of physics, D contains marks of chemistry, and E contains marks of biology. So, and T is the target which contains marks like average of the student. What is the average of that student? By considering B, C, D, E. What we have to do is, we are having 5 instances with it. Instances are A, B, C, D and E. And our target is, or our final answer is, average marks of the student. So A doesn't affect T, means roll number doesn't affect the marks. Now what we can see, what we can do is, we can remove A. By removing A, we are removing one feature, and we are removing the complexity from the data set. So what we will do, the person who is having marks like this and this, having the average this. Likewise we can do. So like this, we need to consider every attribute and need to check relevance with the target data. This technique is known as filter data. Next is, suppose we are considering wrapper method. We need to consider from the collection of subset, like first compare A with B, second compare A with C, third A with D, next A with E. Then consider A, B, C, B, C, D, C, D, E. Then consider A, B, C, D, then consider B, C, D, E. Likewise, you can consider. Means all possible combinations of the instances you have to consider, and you have to check the relevance of one instance to another instance and check what is the relation between them, whether the relevance is there by combining all these data, or it will creating the accurate result, or what is the level of accuracy, whether the accuracy is low, whether the accuracy is high. All these things are going to consider in this, and then you have to decide whether combination of AB will work, whether combination of AC will work, whether combination of AD will work, whether combination of BCD will work. By using that, suppose AB combination is not working, remove it. AC combination is not working, remove it. AD combination is not working, remove it. But when you consider BCDE, so it will work properly, because by using that values only we have to achieve the target. Then and then only you will going to get more accurate result. So, and here you need to check the features with one another. If there are any subset matching with any another subset, then only one copy of subset you need to keep and one will be discarded, like AB and BA. So same subset is there. So you have to keep one only and remove another subset. But this technique is very costly and time consuming, as we have to compare all the instances with all other possible instances. So it is very costly also and time consuming also. And when when we consider more number of features, then this technique is called as a wrapper type of technique for selection of the instances or features. So this is known as unsupervised method and supervised method, that is filter method and wrapper method. So these things we have to consider while selecting the features. Okay. Second thing is feature extraction. So before this also we have seen that we can extract some features, and extract in the sense we have to remove, like the features are irrelevant features and they are making noise while creating the output, or they are not going for the more accuracy, or some features are there which are redundant. So we can extract such type of features. So what we have to do while feature extraction? The feature extraction, we are interested in finding a new set of k dimensions that are combination of the original d dimensions. So this method may be supervised and unsupervised depending on whether or not they use the output information. The best known and most widely used feature extraction methods are principal component analysis and linear discriminant analysis, which are both linear projection methods, unsupervised and supervised respectively. So we are going to see principal component analysis algorithm, how it exactly works in our next lecture by considering one example also. But you keep in mind that these are two methods, or these are two algorithms which are useful to extract the features from the given feature set. What is the objective of feature extraction? Feature extraction, objective of the feature extraction is, we have n-dimensional features and we want to map it with lower dimensional space, suppose m, then we will get this one, like x1 x2 we are having n dimensional and we have to map it with m dimensional. So f of x1 x2 to xn, such function we have to find out which will not change the data, but it can remove some features, like it can extract some features. So these are new features where m is less than n, and each of the feature is function of some feature. For feature selection, we are using subset of feature, but the feature extraction, we are using original features. We are taking every feature and mapping it to the lower dimensional feature space, and every feature space is a function of original feature set. So it is the projection of lower dimensional feature to higher dimensional feature. So the smaller set of dimension will be useful for better and faster classification. So what actually we are doing is, we are finding projection matrix such that z is equal to w raised to t x raised to x bar, so which is projection for n dimensional space to m dimensional space. And what we expect from such projection is, features should be uncorrelated, cannot be reduced further, and features should have larger variance. So this technique is known as feature extraction. So what we have seen in this lecture is, first thing is, while considering instance based learning, you have to consider first features because number of features will make the instances, and number of instances will create any data set. While selecting features, what you have to do is, there are some irrelevant features, there are some redundant features. You have to work onto that features, where you have to select the features which are not irrelevant or which are not redundant from the given feature set, or what you have to do is, you have to remove or extract such features which are irrelevant and which are redundant in the given feature set. For that, we can for feature selection, we are having three methods, that are optimum, heuristic, and randomized, in which you have given a large data set or large number of features with you, and you have to select some features which are having some criteria which will work better for that algorithm, or which will give more accuracy for that data set. And if it is not possible, then go for the feature extraction, where you have to extract such features which are less useful for your data, less useful while creating the data set, and which will give you a more accurate result for any classifier, for any machine learning algorithm.